Well, thanks so much for joining us for another update on MarkTwainZephyr.com. Also our Facebook and Twitter pages at Mark Twain Zephyr. I'm Robert Taborn, Director of Passenger Development for the Wisconsin Great Northern Railroad, and it's great to have you along for our update here on Sunday, October the 3rd, 2021. If you've been watching our updates the past 5, 6, 7 weeks, our crews have been very busy aboard the Huckleberry Finn, not only working on the dining room, but renovating the kitchen area. And we have some very exciting news. A couple weeks ago, most of the interior work on the dining room area of the Huckleberry Finn was completed. And now most of the major interior work on the kitchen is completed. Let's check in with Bob for an update.
Well, the kitchen is pretty much done.
Oh, wow.
We'll walk on down yonder.
All right.
I mean, it was really close last time.
It was, but I heard you added a lot in the last week.
Yeah, yep. As we were talked about, you know, all the stainless steel is up, and we got the trim.
Wow.
The trim is up on the ceiling. I don't think the ductwork was in, but everything has been wrapped in stainless.
Okay. Yeah? I think there wasn't stainless there last week.
There may have been stainless up on that wall, but none of this is done. The sinks are in, or the sinks were there, the faucets are in.
So if everybody hasn't been watching every week, all this is pretty much the original kitchen with the sinks.
The sinks,
where the ice boxes used to be, which is now storage.
Yep, that's all original.
And they got all cleaned up and looking nice.
This is actually an original wall. It's just been rewrapped with our stainless.
Was this area where, and I was looking at some pictures, was this area further back where the boiler and all that
No,
was?
there was a steam generator that
steam generator is what I was thinking.
Steam generator that sat right about here.
That's right, okay.
Right about there.
I was looking at some old pictures of that as we were putting the third volume of the book together. So this is where and then there were gauges right on the other side of this wall.
Well, no, these are all new walls. This is a new wall put in there.
Okay.
I do believe the steam generator actually went from that exterior wall all the way into here somewhere.
Yeah, which is long gone, pulled out last fall, but have some photos
I mean,
of
the burners, everything was just sitting in loose. the burners and everything are all mounted permanently, and everything is up and running and functional.
Oh, nice.
We're, even as you come through the hallway, and we got all them little pieces of trim. It'll be hard to see the angle. I've been working on the trim in here because actually last time none of the corners were closed up.
So how did you tell me your secret here of how you made this curve? Was that straight or did you buy it? Or?
No, it was just regular. It's thinner gauge. We just started it and slowly worked it, bent it around the corner by hand.
Okay.
We had it all pre-drilled. We had lines drawn on the walls so we knew where to go. So we ended up straight. And it just takes a little perseverance.
And you said the only thing really not in place was that you're going to put a sliding door in here that will kind of prevent people who do walk down the hallway from accessing the kitchen.
So staff can come out the kitchen that way and go directly through the door to take food to other cars.
And that'll be the Effie Dean will be, once everything's put together, the Effie Dean will be right here.
Correct. So you have a couple cocktails, you can have some food.
Yeah. All right. So take us down the hallway. You finished the trim on
we got the trim up in the hallway. And then we have another one of these round corners up here.
You said the other pieces you're going to put carpet in here eventually, then they'll match the carpet.
Yeah, and this hallway here, the vestibule will be the same tile as in the Tom Sawyer. Got part of the air conditioning covered and sealed up and over there, up there. And
that's right. Okay, so you got because remember last time we asked, what are you going to put in here?
There's going to be a panel that'll drop down here. This one isn't hooked up, so I didn't even bother to put the panel in.
Okay.
There's still more small trim pieces, and there's more that needs to get done, but the major bulk of it is done, and now we're going to head outside because we're getting ready to put tanks in.
Yeah, I remember we talked about that last week. That's coming later this month.
Well, the person making them won't have them done this week because I'm rounding up some of the supplies.
Oh, okay.
And I really haven't got an exact measurement. I want to put this will be the water tank.
Oh,
The stainless steel one, the big one.
that's the original one that you guys took out?
Yep.
So you're going to actually reuse the original?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't know we were going to do
They're
that.
stainless steel. Problem is it just needed to be all the pipes needed to be taken off, and it needs to be cleaned, sanitized, and put back into action. But
still in good condition 85 years later.
yeah,
That's pretty cool.
That was on this side of the train.
And I remember we have video, maybe we can roll that of you and I think Brian.
Yep.
You were underneath the train trying to kick that out.
Oh, there it is. It was on this side of the train. We're going to move it over to the other side.
Okay.
Because I want the waste tank, the water heater, and the water pump and everything on this side. So when the train comes in, it can all be serviced from this side.
Okay.
And I can't really, I can go into a welder to have some of the brackets made to mount that up in there, because I got to get that in so I can get exact measurements of what I have left for room for the water tank.
Okay.
I mean the holding tank, because the way I do this one, the other ones are going to be done pretty similar. And once I figure out the way this one is, I can have measurements for the remainder of the tanks.
Okay.
So we can get that started, and hopefully not next week, the following week, I should be able to put in some tanks in here and get this one 100% done.
Is the smaller one? Is that also?
No, that's an old air reservoir for air brakes.
Okay. Is that reusable or no? Not really.
Yeah. I don't know.
Not really. Okay.
Not my department.
No, okay.
Not my department.
All right.
Robert.
So water and
air. But
air.
We're making headway. Besides that, I finish this up. I'll go back down into the Tom Sawyer. All that really has to be done is the water tank, and the water, and the holding tank for the waste.
So when you come back tomorrow here on Monday, you'll be working on that in the Tom Sawyer then?
No, I'm gonna.
Oh, you're gonna do this first.
I'm gonna take these brackets.
All right.
Get them made.
Okay. So we'll get to see that next weekend.
Yeah.
The water tank brackets.
The water tank will be in there, and then, like I said, that'll give me an exact measurement on what I need for material.
Perfect.
So all the flat steel can be ordered to make the tanks and.
Okay. So what do you think of the kitchen? What's your take on how you did the last few weeks?
I think it's great.
You happy the way it came out?
Yeah, absolutely.
It looks beautiful. Absolutely.
Absolutely. The boss is happy.
Is he too? That's the key
factor.
All right.
My job is to make him shine.
That's right. He shines. All right. Well, we'll see you back next week, Bob. Thanks so much.
All right. Have a good one.
All right. All right. Thanks a lot, Bob, for the update, and we look forward to catching up with Bob again next week. If you watched our videos here with the Mark Twain Zephyr updates over the last year, you might notice sometimes we come up with very interesting solutions for problems. For example, this very time last year, we built a homemade kiln to shape the back windows of the Tom Sawyer. Well, yeah, there's no Menards or Home Depots that stock Mark Twain Zephyr or just Zephyr windows. So yeah, we actually have to use that homemade kiln to bend and shape the back windows. Another interesting example is something that we also came up with this past week or so. The Mars light. As you can see, there's just a temporary tarp taped up over where the Mars light would go. But how do you get a Mars light properly fitted when you really can't take off the top of the train and ship it somewhere? Well, maybe think back to 6th grade art, where you might have made a cast of the shape of something, in this case, the top of the Tom Sawyer. Our dinner train and I guess resident artist, Beverly, was responsible for this. I caught up with her earlier this week while she was making the cast. And there is this on the floor. So, what is this? Is it a sculpture?
This is actually a mold that goes on the end of went on the end of the Tom Sawyer. And it was made first with paper mache, which did not work as well. So we had to put it back up and reform the paper mache, and then done with plaster of Paris.
Now, when you're talking the back of the Tom Sawyer, that's not where the medallion is. That's above the
medallion.
Way up on top.
Yep.
On top of the window.
Yes.
Even
right above the
okay.
window.
So did you get up there and do this, or you brought the piece down here?
No,
Or what?
I had to do it to the train itself. It had to be formed to the particular part of the train.
Okay.
And this is done because we need to put what they call the Mars light, the rear light, has to be bent into the correct shape to be replaced on the end of the Tom Sawyer. So hopefully this will work. It has been quite an interesting project.
So we are going to put the Mars light back on then,
A Mars light will go back on.
Okay. So what is the
Purpose?
Yeah.
There we go.
You have me speechless.
Right.
Oh.
It's kind of a funny looking piece.
Yeah.
Greg will take this to the person that is actually building the metal piece that will hold the Mars light. And so he will form it to this either on the outside or the inside of it, depending which way he's going to do it. It was the only way that anybody could think of to make an exact copy of the end of the train.
Interesting.
It was very difficult to get down, and that's why it's two different colors right now, is because it cracked up pretty bad on the bottom and I had to replaster it. So there'll be a little more sanding and stuff to do on it, and then you can take it and see if they can do anything with it.
Okay. And then how long did it take to do all this? At least several hours, I imagine.
Well, the first time with the paper mache, it was actually several days because you had to let the layers of paper mache dry. And yesterday in the afternoon, I popped it back up with the help of a couple of the other guys and taped it down and reformed it, got a little damp and reformed it, and put the plaster of Paris on. Then this morning is when we carefully took it down, and which was an undertaking in itself.
Well, we hope you enjoyed that too. Who would have thought, making a cast of the top of the Tom Sawyer and mailing it off? Never know what you're going to find as our crew restores this wonderful, beautiful, historic train. I'm Robert Tabor for the Wisconsin Great Northern Railroad. We'll be back next Sunday, October the 10th, with another update. Hope you have a great week. We'll see you then. Thanks so much for joining us for another update on the Mark Twain Zephyr at the Wisconsin Great Northern Railroad. Before you go, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's really easy. Depending on what browser you have, just click on the red subscribe button on the lower right-hand side below the video screen, or perhaps it might be in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. This way, you won't miss any of our future updates. For restoration updates throughout the week, head over to marktwainzephyr.com and click on the Restoration Updates link. We usually add a few photos during the week. Our next video update will be next Sunday afternoon. And remember, you can stay in touch with us throughout the week 24/7 on social media. We mainly use Facebook at Mark Twain Zephyr. We also occasionally use Twitter at Mark Twain Zephyr as well. Once again, thanks for following us and liking us and supporting the Mark Twain Zephyr restoration effort at the Wisconsin Great Northern Railroad. We'll see you back next Sunday at this time.
Fly